Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarva Lokanam Vishaje Bhavarogina Nithaye Sarva Vidyanam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Apara Karuna Sindhum Jnanadam Shantarupinam Shri Chandrasekhara Gurum Pranamami Mudanvaham Parityajya Maunam Vatadasthitin Javrajan Bharatasya Pradeshat Pradesham Madhusyanti Vacha Janan Dharma Margenayan Shri Jayendra Gururbati Chitte Namama Shankaran Vakya Vijayendra Saraswati Shri Gurum Tishtamar Ganunetaram Sanmati Pradam Sadguru Charanarvindabhyan Namaha Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. From Viveka Chudamani, we have seen the prerequisites for, I'm summing up from the beginning. We have seen the prerequisites for the Vedantic knowledge, Vedantic studies, Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampattihi, Nityanitya Vastu Vivekaha, Ihamutra Pala Bhoga Viragaha, Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi, Mumukshutvam. 4 Ds we have seen. Discrimination, Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekaha. Dispassion, Iha Iha Amutra Phala Bhoga Viragaha. Dispassion towards the worldly pleasures. Discipline, Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi, and desire for moksha, Mumukshutvam. These are the 4-fold qualification for any Vedantic study. And then we saw the basics of Vedanta, which is Deha Bhavaha, Jiva Bhavaha, Atma Bhavaha. What is this body? Sthula Shariraha, and then Sukshma Shariraha, and then Karana Shariraha. No, normally we think our body as, normally we think ourselves as this body. But Shastra says, even in this body, there are 3-fold distinction. Normally the body, what we think is our body, is only the Sthula Shariraha, or the gross body. And then you have Sukshma Sharira, your mind, your intellect, Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chittani. Manaha, Buddhi, Ahankaram, and Chittam. They form the part of Sukshma Shariram. And then Karana Shariram. We have 3 avasthas. We have Jagrada avastha, that is our waking up state. We have Swapna avastha, the dreaming state. And then we have Sushupti avastha, the deep sleep state. In our Sushupti avastha, the deep sleep state, we experience the ignorance, Mula Avidya. Somebody is sleeping. If somebody has slept very nicely without any dreams, next day you wake that person and ask, hey, how did you sleep? What did he say? Sleep. If no experience has happened, then this is how he should say, hey, what is sleep? I don't know what is sleep. But he does not say that. Instead, what he says? He says, I slept very nicely. There is a witness even for the deep sleep. There is a witness who witnesses the absence of any dream. That is called as Karana Shariram, Mula Vidya. So, there are three Shariram: Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram. And then we rejected all these Sharirams. I am not Sthula Shariraha. I am not Sukshma Shariraha. I am not Karana Shariraha. Then who am I? I am the Atma who enjoys these three Sharirams. In fact, enjoys within the double quote. I am the Atma who has been superimposed with these three Shariraha. Really, Atma does not have any Shariram. If Shariram is Satyam, Atma is Satyam, Shariram is Mithya. We saw. And then we saw what is Satyam, what is Mithya. Right? Atma is Satyam. What is the definition? Because these words Satyam, Mithya, etc. Will normally have certain meanings in our mind. But when you come to Vedanta, it has got a technical definition. Satyam has got a technical definition, that which cannot be negated under any time, under any place, or negated by any vastu. Desha parichinna, kala parichinna, vastu parichinna. Desha aparichinna, kala aparichinna, vastu aparichinna satya. So we have a definition of satyam. But Acharya himself says, hey, don't ask me to define mithya, maya. Maya is neither existing, Maya is nor non-existing. Maya is just a superimposition. He has given lots of examples for Maya. And then, what is the real tattva? Tat tvam asi. The Guru says, hey, you are that Brahman. You are not Shariram. You are the Brahman. And then Guru talks about vasanas. Right? Then why do we experience the world? It is because of vasanas. What are vasanas? Vasanas are latent memories which are present in our mind. Vasanas are latent memories which are present in our mind, which have been accumulated over anadi janmas. It's called as vasana. A child is born. A child is born. How does the child know that, hey, if I cry, the mother will give me milk? Who has taught that thing to the child? Nobody has taught that. Nobody has taught that, hey, you go out, you cry. If you want milk, you have to cry. Nobody has gone inside the mother's womb and said, hey, this is how you should drink milk. Who has taught that to child? Anything can happen. Right? How does the child know how to drink milk? Nobody has taught that child. Right? Even if no one is there, at the appropriate age, the child know how to crawl. Nobody has to teach the child. If we see, whatever the people that are surrounding the child, nobody crawls. Now, if there are 5 kids in the house, maybe the youngest kid might be crawling. But if there is only 1 kid in the house, nobody crawls. Everybody only walks. How does the child know how to crawl? How does the child know? How to turn over. Who has taught that to the child? Who has taught that? Who has taught the child, hey, you should stand up? How to walk? Nobody has taught that. Now we think we are teaching the child how to walk, but how did it happen 1,000 years ago or 10,000 years ago where there is no walker business and all? Without anything, the child can stand up. Without anything, the child can walk. Without anything, the child can eat. Why? How? Because it is vasanas. Because it is called as vasanas. Child can take food and eat in the same way an elephant. How does elephant know how to eat? We have hand, so we see hand moving, okay, we can easily take and eat. Elephant trunk will be like a vacuum cleaner. It has to siphon up all the food, and then it has to bend its trunk, put the trunk into its mouth, and then it has to push the food into the mouth. Who has taught elephant all these things? All these things are latent memories that are stored in the Sukshma Sharira. When we die, it is the Sthula Sharira that goes away. When we die, it is the Sthula Sharira that goes away. Our Sukshma Sharira, the Manas, the mind, and the Karana Sharira, it is those Sharira who we normally identify as Jiva or Atma. Now, when I die, I go to Swargaloka. When we die, I go to Vaikuntha. When we die, we go to Kailasa. We say, right, who goes to Kailasa? Who goes to Swargaloka? Our Sukshma Karana Sharira. A complex of Sukshma Sharira and Karana Sharira. They go to Swargaloka, they go to Kailasa. When the visa period is over, they come back to Manushaloka again. This world, this reality again. So, like that, we have taken lots of janmas. How many janmas we have taken? Pullai, Puluvai, Pudai, Varamahi, Palmirigamai, Paravayai, Pambahi, Kallai, Devarai, Manidarai, Sella Nindrai Tabara Jangamatul, Yella Pirapum Pirandilaite. So if I have not taken elephant janma at all, there is a new jiva who has not been exposed to elephant janma before. He is now taking elephant janma. Then by our logic, he will not know how to eat because he has not taken elephant janma before. So he will not know how to eat with his trunk. But that never happens. Right? Why? Because we all would have taken all the janmas. Anadi avidya vasanaya. When we do sankalpam for snanam, etc., we say anadya vidya vasanaya. Nobody knows how many janmas we have taken before. Whatever the species that are there, whatever the species that are yet to come, whatever the species that have gone before, we have taken that janma. Our janma does not have beginning, because then one question can come, hey, how do we know what to do in our first janma? Right? We say, okay, a human being is born. He knows, hey, if I cry, I can draw attention. The kid knows. How does the kid know? We say it is because of his previous Manushya Janma. In the previous Manushya Janma, how does the kid know? It is because of the previous Manushya Janma. Like that, you go. How many Manushya Janmas you have taken, you go. There should be a first Manushya Janma. Right? How did the kid know how to cry in the first Manusha Janma? Who has taught the kid? Vedanta says that logic is flawed. That logic does not work. Why? Because our mind is conditioned to process linear causation. Our mind is conditioned to process linear cause and effect. There is a cause, there is an effect. This effect will be the cause for the next effect. This effect will be the cause for the next effect. That is how we think. But Shastra says, hey, who told you cause and effect are linear? Who told you? Cause and effect is not linear. Cause and effect is circular. In a circle, there is no starting point, there is no ending point. Every point acts as a starting point for the next point. Every point acts as the ending point for the previous point. Every point acts as the starting point for the next point. Every point acts as the ending point for the previous point. So there is really no starting or ending point in a circle. In the same way, there is no Adi, Anadi. Adi means beginning. There is no beginning for the Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Shayana. For this life of samsara, for the cycle of samsara, comprising of births and deaths, there is no real beginning. Ochida. Because if it has got a beginning, we can safely assume that there is an end. I have a straight line. A straight line has got a beginning. A straight line will also have an end. So if the samsara has started at some point, we can safely assume that hey, at one point of time, samsara is going to end. Right? Samsara has started. So samsara has to end. That is what Krishna also says. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha. If something has started, that thing will end. So samsara has started. Samsara is going to end. What is the end of samsara? Moksha. So we can have some confidence that we will get moksha. But what does Vedanta argue? Vedanta argues that samsara does not have any beginning. Okay, now we all should be really worried, right? Because if there is no beginning, then there can be no end. Circle does not have a beginning. Okay, it also does not have an end. Circle does not have an end, right? So now we all are worried. Hey, samsara chakra, we also say chakra. Samsara chakram. Asmin mahati samsara chakre. We say in the sankalpa. So samsara does not have a beginning. How can beginningless samsara have an end? That's the question. Then Acharya says, hey, chatasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu dhruvam janma mritasya cha is correct. Whatever has got a beginning has got an end. Okay, Krishna says so. But Krishna does not say whatever that does not have a beginning will not have an end. Okay. Say, avidya, ignorance is there. You are ignorant of a language. Cantonese, or language. The language is spoken in China. Okay. We are ignorant of the language of Cantonese. Okay. How long have you been ignorant for? Since the beginning. Anadi. You have never spoken Cantonese. Right. So, Ignorance does not have a beginning, but ignorance has an end. How can I end my Cantonese ignorance? If I have Cantonese jnanam, my Cantonese ignorance has ended. Except only in the case of ignorance, if something, only in the case of ignorance, ignorance will not have a beginning, but ignorance has got an end. Cantonese ignorant. I know Cantonese. When I learn Cantonese, my Cantonese ignorance has stopped. C. There's a computer programming language called as C. C ignorance. How long you had C ignorance? Since beginning. Anadi. You cannot put a date or time for your C ignorance. But when you start learning C, hash include studio.h, main, printf hello world, semicolon, close brackets. Your C ignorance has stopped at that point. Any ignorance need not have a beginning. In fact, any ignorance will not have any beginning, but ignorance has an end. Acharya says, hey, what is your samsara? Your samsara is nothing but ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of your real nature. What is samsara? Samsara is ignorance. What? Ignorance of what? Ignorance of your real nature. Now, previously we have seen that any ignorance will have anadi, will not have any adi, will not have any beginning. But the moment you learn, the moment you gain that jnana, ignorance will end. So samsara, even though it does not have a beginning, even though samsara does not have a beginning, samsara has got an end. Now the question is, when will samsara end? Shastra says, samsara ends the moment you realize your real self. Samsara ends the moment you realize your real self. Who am I? Aham Atma, Nitya Buddha Shuddha Mukta Atma. The moment I realize my own nature, samsara ends. Is ignorance a real thing? Ignorance is never a real thing. Ignorance is never a real thing. It is a notion. Ignorance is a notion. In the same way, samsara, we think we are under samsara, but we are ever Nitya Buddha, Nitya Mukta, Nitya Shuddha, Buddha Mukta Atma. Just don't know that. Okay. Now, I am in one Janma. In this Janma, I am fortunate enough to have a Guru. Okay? Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. The Guru also has got Lakshana. Parikshilokan Karmachitan Brahmano Nirvedamayat. Tat Vignartam sa Gurumeva Abhigachet Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. You have to gain the knowledge only by a Guru. And Guru, he has to rely on Shastra to give you knowledge. Guru cannot give you knowledge just by himself. Guru does not invent any knowledge. He only passes the knowledge of Shastra. So Guru tells, hey, Tatu Tvamasi. You are that Brahman. How does the Sishya has to understand? Tattvamasi is called as Upadesha Vakya. Guru tells the Upadesha. Shishya has to change the Vakya. Shishya has to understand this Vakya as Aham Brahmasmi, Anubhava Vakya. Aham Brahma. In the middle, he will have doubts. The middle, Shishya will have doubts. Tadvitti pranipadena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha, says Krishna in Gita. Tadvitti, hey, know that knowledge. How? Padena, nipadena, pranipadena. Mahapariva talks about this word pranipadaha. You have to go do seva of Guru. Pariprashnena. Don't let the Guru exploit you. Ask lots of questions, says Krishna. Guru will never exploit you. But Krishna emphasizes, hey, pariprashnena. Prashna means question. He does not stop with question. He says pariprashnena. Ask lots of questions. Just like how he emphasizes padena, nipadena, pranipadena. Go, fall at the feet of Guru. Do Sharanagati to Guru. And then do all the chores that Guru asks you to do. Do Guru Seva. Okay. Don't stop with Guru Seva. Ask him lots of questions. Ask him good questions. Prashnena, pariprashnena, sevaya. Do Guru Seva. Upadekshanti te jnanam. How should be that Guru? Jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. The Upanishad Vakya, we saw Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Here Krishna says Jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. Shrotriyam, a learned Guru. Jnani. Jnanina, a person who is endowed with Jnanam is Jnani. Shrotriyam is same thing. But he should not be just well learned. He should be a self-realized person. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. He cannot be just a book. What is book now? A book will have all the things, but book cannot apply the knowledge which is contained in that book. Einstein's theory of relativity, E is equal to mc square, is printed in a book. Can that book go and make atom bombs? Can that book go and make nuclear reactor? Even if we have all the protocols written for the nuclear reactor, a book can never make nuclear reactor. It is jnani. The book is endowed with jnanam, that is okay. But tattvadarsha, where is tattvadarshanam? Book cannot have tattvadarshan. But a guru, he should be a jnani. He should also be a realized person. Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Jnaninaha Tattvadarshinaha. That is what Thiruvalluvar also says in Thirukural. Karka Kasadara Karpavai Katrapin. He could have stopped with Karka Kasadara. He does not stop there. He says Karka Kasadara Karpavai Katrapin Nirka Adarkitaha. You should live the knowledge. Brahmanishtham is called as Nirka Adarkitaha. So, that is the Lakshanam of Guru. Shishya Lakshanam is also spoken in Viveka Chudamani. How should Shishya behave? What are the qualities of Shishya? What are the qualities of Guru? And then Shishya gets the knowledge, Aham Brahmasmi. The process of knowledge happens in 3 steps. First is called as Shravanam. Second is called as Mananam. Third is called as Nididhyasanam. Shrot Atma va are Drashtavyaha, Shrotavyaha, Mantavyaha, Nididhyasitavyaha. Shravanam, listening from the Guru. Mananam, removing his doubts. Then Nididhyasanam. So, this Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam is what is being told as Karka, Kasadara Karka, Katravai Nirka. Karka is Shravanam. The process of studying. Karka, kasadara karka. Karka, kasadara karpavai katrape. Niti mananam is removal of doubts. Katrapin nirka adarkita nididhyasa. So, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasanam, this person undergoes, then he gets Jivan Mukti. The moment he realizes his own self, due to Nididhyasanam, due to Samadhi, we saw two types of Samadhi. Sabija Samadhi, Nirbija Samadhi. Savikalpaka Samadhi, Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. We saw. So, this person has gone to Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. This person understands his real self. He gets to be a Jivan Mukta. Jivan Muktasya Lakshanam we saw. What are the Lakshanam of Jivan Mukta? Then Krishna talked about, here Acharya talks about what happens to the karma of Jivan Mukta. In the last class, we saw about 3 types of karma. Sanchita karma, Agami karma, and Prarabdha karma. Sanchita karma is the sum total of all karmas that we have done in our anadi janmas. Sum total of all karmas. What does Bhagavan do? Imagine that is like a big sack. Bhagavan randomly puts his hand inside that sack. He randomly takes some karma. In the school and all, they will explain probability. One bag has got 5 red balls, 10 blue balls. A person randomly chooses 5 balls. What is the probability of getting red ball? What is the probability of getting blue ball? You would have seen this type of questions in probability. Same thing happens in our case as well. We have this whole bag of prarabdha karma, sanchita karma. There are 2 types of karmas, punya karma and papa karma. So there are 2 types of balls, punyam balls, papam. Bhagavan randomly puts his hand into the bag. He takes a handful of karma, enough for 1 janma. That is called as prarabdha karma. So he gives to you, hey, in this janma, you have to spend these balls. You have to spend these balls. You have to spend these karma. So the punya karma, in that handful of prarabdha, if we have only punya, you take janma as devas. If you have only papa, you take janma as pasu, pakshi, mrigadaya. Like birds, animals. If you have a mixture of punyam and papam, you take janma as humans. Right? And then you spend all the karma. While spending the punya and papa karma, you also accumulate more karma. That is called as agami karma. When you die, the agami will go back to the bag of sanchita karma. So sanchita karma will never be depleted. Okay. What happens to a jnani? The person has gained jnanam. Bhagavan takes the sack of sanchita karma. He burns that sack of sanchita karma. Jnanagni dhagdas jnanagni sarva karmanam pasmasad kurute Arjuna. Jnanagni dhagda karmanam pasmasad kurute Arjuna. In the agni of jnanam, all of your sanchita karma goes away. Okay. Agami karma, he will not get after jnanam. He will not get any more karma. But what will happen to prarabdha karma? Prarabdha karma will be there. This person has to deplete his prarabdha karma. So while depleting the prarabdha karma, he can have 2 types of karma, right? He can have punya karma, he can have papa karma. He can have punya karma, he can have papa karma as well. Punyasya palam sukham. Papasya palam dukkha. If you have lot of punya karma, you will enjoy sukham. If you have lots of papa karma, you will enjoy dukkham. It is true even for a jnani. So jnani, he also undergoes sukham and dukkham. But the only difference between us ajnanis and them jnanis is that jnani will get so excited if they get sukham. Ajnanis will lament when they experience dukkham. On the other hand, jnanis, for them both sukham and dukkham are the same. Both sukham and dukkham are the same. Sama dukke sukhe krutva labha labhau jaya jayau. He takes both sukham and dukkham as the same. Sthita prajnasya ka bhasha. Arjuna asked a lot of questions about sthita prajnasya lakshanam. Bhagavan Krishna explains that in Bhagavad Gita. You will see that in our Bhagavad Gita class, second chapter. So, that is how the jnani leads us life. So, don't think that, okay, I got jnanam. When I get jnanam, I should not get any dukkham. If I get dukkham, it means that I am not jnani. It is not so. Sukham and dukkham are the properties of this body. If you have a body, you will experience either pleasure, you will experience either pain. Matra sparashastu kaunteya, sitoshna sukha dukkhata. There has to be an experience. I have a sense organ, there will be an experience in the sense organ. And that experience can either be pleasurable or painful. There are only two choices. Right? And if you have lots of punya karma, you will experience punyam. You will experience pleasure. If you have lots of papa karma, your body will undergo lots of ordeals. But Paranyani, he knows that, hey, all these things are the properties of my body, not of my Atma. My Atma is ever present. My Atma is untainted by Punyam and Papam. My Atma is untainted by all the gunas. The Jnanis understand. Maybe the people surrounding the Jnani will not understand that. They will say, okay, nee Vedantam padchi enna prayojanam. You are also suffering. I am also suffering. Why should you study? Why should you waste half an hour a week in Shravanam? Why should you waste 2 hours a week or 2 hours a day in doing dhyanam? You are also suffering, I am also suffering, but at least I am enjoying. Everybody will tell that, but for Jnani, he will understand that, hey, the suffering is only for the body. It is not for Atma. But Bhagavan clearly says, a Jnani will not escape from the clutches of Prarabdha. Sometimes what happens? If the Jnanam is very dridam, the transfer of karma can also happen. How? The punya karmas of the jnani has to fructify. The punyam and papam, they have to fructify. Some of the punya karmas of the jnani will transfer to those people who do namaskaras to the jnani. It is not told in Viveka Chudamani per se. Whatever I'm telling, it is not there in Viveka Chudamani. Viveka Chudamani only says jnani will undergo prarabdha. Jnani will undergo punyam. Jnani will undergo the effects of punyam. Jnani will undergo the effects of papam. That is what is told in Viveka Chudamani. But in other granthas, we see some more explanation, some more development of this idea. And they say, whoever comes and does namaskara to the jnani, they will get the punya of jnani. Whoever abuses jnani, they will get the papam of this jnani. No, jnani, he is not going to commit papam. But in his prarabdha, some papam will be there. Right? That is why I said, if the person has got Mishra, both Punyam and Papam, only then the person takes birth as human being. So just because he is Jnani, don't think that he will only have Punya Prarabdha Karma. He won't be having any Papa Prarabdha Karma. If he has only Punyam, then he will not have born as human. He would have born as a Deva. So the very fact that he is born as a human, even though he is a Jnani, even though he is a great soul means that he has got both Punyam and Papam. So in the Granthantaram, what they say is that whoever comes and does Namaskara to the Jnani, whoever comes and do puja to the Jnani, whoever comes and does seva to the Jnani, they will get the punyam of that Jnani. They will get the punya karma of the Jnani. What about papa karma of the Jnani? Whoever abuses the Jnani, things will be there, right? Whoever abuses the Jnani, whoever has got dvesha towards Jnani, automatically they will get the papa karma, papa prarabdha karma of Jnani. That is why in Upanishad itself says, Atmagyam hi archayet bhuti kamaha. Hey, I want money. I want money. Bhuti, vibhutir bhutihi aishwaryam. I want all the things in life. What should I do now? Go do an archana for Jnani. Go praise the Jnani. Go do namaskarams to Jnani. Everything will automatically come to you. Why now? Because all his punya karma is going to come to you. Jnani is, of course, Jnani will have more punya than papa. That is there. So you'll have many punya karma. When you do namaskara, when you do puja of Jnani, you will get their punya karma as well. Of course, this is a very technical issue. This is not mentioned in Viveka Chudamani because it is not the subject matter. The subject matter of Viveka Chudamani is not Punyam or Papam. Subject matter of Viveka Chudamani is to get rid of Punyam and Papam. That is why Acharya does not mention it here. But elsewhere, it is mentioned. I thought I will just share that. This today's topic class is over. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti 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 Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.